Welcome to Raise the Bar, episode 87. Any minute now, I'm going to be joined by Damo, who has been the owner of CrossFit Westgate for almost 10 years and always a character. So this podcast could go anywhere. Damien.
Giddy up.
How are we?
Not too bad, brother. Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. Very well. Actually did my first jiu-jitsu session last night ever, like my first ever mixed martial arts, any kind of self-defense stuff. So I'm actually feeling pretty good today. It was good. It was nice fun.
Good. How'd that go? You enjoyed it?
Yeah, something new. And definitely if I keep going, it's a lot to learn and I can see why people get addicted to it pretty quickly. Have you done anything like that yourself?
No, back in the day, a little bit of boxing. Hence the soft nose or the fucking some funky shape of my nose, but no martial arts. I've never really, is boxing a martial art? Not really. So no, I've never actually tackled them, but I'm a big fan of the UFC. Big fan.
Yeah, I bet you are. Being an Irishman, of course. Mate, big news yesterday. I obviously saw, like a lot of people did, that you popped up on your socials that you've sold your business.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's
Before we dive into that though, sorry to cut you off. We better start the show with a bit of an introduction. So, can you just let everyone know who you are and what contribution you've made to the fitness industry?
Okay, well, my name's Damien Hennigan. I'm originally from the west of Ireland, a place called Roscommon, on the Rossies. I landed out to Australia in 2009, which is 11 years ago. I started working over in a gym in Altona. It was Westgate Health and Fitness Centre. And I had known about CrossFit before I had come to Australia. And basically, it was over in Ben Schwartz's gym in Caulfield where I actually got my level 1. I think that was probably 2010. And then in the gym I was working in, I hired a little bit of an area, a little bit of a spot, and I set up my CrossFit affiliate in there. And that would have been back in 2011.
Originally named CrossFit Westgate, or did you have a different affiliate name?
Yeah, that was the original affiliate name, CrossFit Westgate, and the Westgate came from the location that I was in, which was Westgate Health and Fitness Centre. The manager there at the time was Trevor Kneebone, and if I tip my hat to him, he gave me my start here in Australia, and to him I'll be forever in debt. But that's where it all began. We probably last maybe once I got affiliated, that being in a commercial gym space and trying to run your own affiliate, it worked for a while, but we soon started kind of to take over. The CrossFitters started to take over that little area. So that's when we decided to move out. Got my first warehouse. But once I got my first warehouse, fucking shit went septic. It was like it was a means to an end, but it was too small within 6 months. And we an opportunity arose to get another one, so we did, and that's where we moved to today. And that was probably in 2014 that we moved into the bigger location. And yeah, that's where I've been since, and it's been a wild ride. And and as of yesterday, I finally signed paperwork to transfer the ownership over to one of my coaches, which has been hectic, but a lot of mixed emotions, but good emotions nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, interesting time to talk to you. This is a business podcast, so I guess what's the process been like in finding a buyer? Like, why did you choose to sell? And like now that you've agreed to something, what does that process look like to actually hand over the keys?
Yeah, 100%. Well, the decision came around because of a lot of what happened last year. And this is a statement that a good friend of mine uses a lot, and I'll agree with him. Nothing will fuck your business more than COVID will. You can have fucking all sorts of shit happen within the business, but nothing will fuck it more than COVID will. So a big goal of mine, even before COVID, was to have the ability to work from anywhere. That's been on my goals list for a long time. And a big reason that's been there is obviously I'm Irish. And every time I travel home to Ireland, I can only really travel home for a 3-week stint. Because, number one, it's expensive traveling back home. But the main reason is that if I'm away for longer than 3 weeks, it costs me more money to run my business because I have to have staff in place. You have to have all the processes and procedures. Because I was very tied to my business, like if I'm not there, things go south. So if I'm away for too long, it's not top of the pops. So the idea was that last year I was planning to go to Bali and run my gym remotely for 3 months as an experiment. And I was getting all the systems in place. I was getting the staff up in place and all that sort of stuff. But obviously, the world had different plans for us. And, you know, the idea in my head was like, okay, how can I take this online? How can I run my business from far away? I knew I was going to be taking a risk. And it's always something I was very interested in. You see people like James Smith, who is an English PT, who is completely 100% online, and he's destroying it. Also, that coach Eugene, that the Gambaru method, who was again another coach that I follow closely, who's doing a lot of stuff online. And you know, I love their content. Their content's fun. It's easy to follow. And I've been doing since 2014 these little videos called the Daily Cracks. And what started to happen because of lockdown, obviously the gym got shut down, so I felt like I lost my purpose. That was a very confronting period where I was like, fuck, what do I do now? Where do I take this? Have I to turn my back on the fitness industry and you know, go pushing a wheelbarrow? And not that I'm adverse to fucking getting my hands dirty, but this has been 15 years of my life. This has been a 15-year apprenticeship, as well as running a business, as well as being a coach, and all the shit that comes along with it. And now I have to figure my life out again. And that was tough. That was tough. And I'm sure not only myself went through that, many others as well. So because of that, you know, this, as I said, with pressure, you can make diamonds. So I said, right, fuck this. I'm going to try this online thing. I'm going to see how it works. So the first lockdown, I made a bit of a program for people to follow. It was for free. But it got a bit of traction. People got interested, and I was like, oh, okay, this is not so bad. Then we came out of that first lockdown, and bang, we went into the second big chunky one. There was the lockdown that like lasted for what seemed like 7 millennia. So I actually when that one kicked in, I actually jumped on this. I had a VA, I had a virtual assistant that was helping me out with my social media for CrossFit Westgate. She was brilliant. And I asked her, how could I package up what I had done previously and make it look a bit prettier? Like create like something that people could subscribe to and pay a small amount of money. And she was like, what are you trying to do? And I was like, I'm actually trying to move online with my coaching. And she said, well, I work with this Facebook company or this company in America. They're all on Facebook. And it's about helping coaches move online. And it's called the authentic attraction. And I said, right, okay, I'll jump on. And I spoke to one or two of the people that were in there from Melbourne. There were coaches that had gyms here in Melbourne. And they just spoke really highly of it. They're like, yeah, this is what it's all about. It's not about outlaying a huge amount of money to have a website and an app or anything like that. It's basically, what are you good at? Put your content up about what you want to help people with and how you can help people and what you're passionate about. Hence the authentic attraction. And it's all about putting live videos up and all that sort of stuff, which I was already doing. But what I started to do was double down on it. And they said, all right, we'll create an 8-week program where you're going to take people through your process and you're going to deliver results. And you're going to start talking about it in your lives. So I did. I started talking about it. Then people started to reach out, some of my current clients at the gym, but then other people as well. And they were like, yeah, I'm interested. So I charged a block of money for an 8-week program that I hadn't fully designed yet, but the fact that I was selling people into it made me take action. And the way this authentic attraction works is like, okay, don't create the program and then try and sell that. Get the people that need help and ask them what they want and build what they want. And that's how it started. And I've done an 8-week block and it was mind blowing. It was like, okay, I'm able to help people in a whole other way. I have virtual contact with people, which allows me to, be there for them 24/7. They can just drop me a voice note, say, Damo, I'm struggling with this. Yeah, no, and I can respond back to it in a second. Yeah, no problem. This is what I would suggest. So it kind of blew my mind. I'm like, holy fuck, I can still coach people, and I can still run a business, but I don't need my bricks and mortar. I don't need a physical location. So I got my purpose back. And then all of a sudden, I found that my coaching, the way I was coaching changed. It morphed, but it felt right what I was doing. I wasn't teaching people how to squat anymore. I was coaching them on, the person that they need to become in order to get stronger, in order to lose weight. Like, I was helping them with their nutrition side of things, but I wasn't saying this is what they need to eat. It's like, okay, well, just eat within, a certain calorie target and all that sort of stuff. But that's that sort of stuff. But it was also coaching people on a mindset, so I found myself studying more psychology, like research and books and stuff in and around that realm. And it just excited me in a whole new way. So I was like, okay, there's something in this. There's something in this. So I continued it on. And then obviously we came back out of lockdown. And my goal was to be like, right, let's run the two of them together. Let's try and offer this to the people that are in my gym. And I tried to offer that. And I definitely fucked up. So this would be my advice to anyone that does run a business. Don't make dramatic changes too quickly, especially coming out of lockdown, because that shit will piss people off. And my hands up in the air, like I'll fully admit that the mistake I made was, okay, I was helping my current clients out. We were running stuff at the gym, but I was doing all this stuff online. And my mentality was, okay, the stuff I'm doing online, I'm going to offer I'm going to bring into my gym. This is how I'm going to help people, but I'm going to charge them more because I'm doing more. So can you imagine being a client coming back to a gym after fucking 6 months of lockdown, and then all of a sudden the prices are jacked up by 20%? You're going to be like, fuck you. So I pissed off. I pissed off a lot of my clients, and a lot of it was I just jumped the gun. I jumped the gun in what I was trying to do, and it annoyed people. Because I got super excited, but people weren't on the journey I was on. People were suffering through a lockdown, and I forgot that, because I went from like losing my purpose to finding a new purpose, and then getting all excited and helping these people. So like it felt like my lockdown ended earlier than everyone else's. But I fucked up. It's the only way I can say that. So I made changes. People didn't like it. The business suffered. And the business really didn't recover from that. So I had one of my coaches who was super keen. He's been with me 2 years now, who was super keen. And he basically said to me, like, he recognized what had happened. And he's seen where kind of my new passion lay. And he was like, what do you think about me taking over? And, in a scenario like that where I'd understood, like I'd fucked up, but I was thinking, oh, maybe it's time for me to move on to new things. Maybe it's time for me to make a change here. I've been doing this 10 years. I've really enjoyed it, but I've now actually found a new avenue, or a new something I want to, travel down. And, this was an idea that was tossed up in the air. To be honest, initially I shot it down because the ego takes over. No, I can get this back. I can rebuild this. I can bring it back to what it was before. But what I discovered was I had a new love for something else. A new energy was heading in a different direction. And when your energy is heading in a different direction, it's quite hard to bring it back to where it was before, knowing what you can do and how you can help. And a little bit of it was, I suppose, and I'm being honest, like, because I tried to change something and it got pushed back, and like, as I said, I fucked up with that one. A little bit of me was like, I don't want to run the gym anymore. So the fact that one of my coaches offered, I was foolish not to, like, I would have been foolish not to take it. So as I said, initially I shot the idea down, and 2 or 3 months later I tried to build it back up, but realizing my energy lied somewhere else, I reapproached that coach. Now he would have been fully in his right to go, fuck you, Damo. I offered you this before and you shut me down, but he didn't. He was about it. And hence we got stuff rolling. And that's why things have happened much quicker this time, because I myself knew that this was the story. So basically we had a conversation. He made an offer. I shook hands on his offer, and then we basically got the ball rolling. We picked a date, which was the 17th of May. That was probably a month ago we picked that date. And yes, since then we've just made it all happen. We had a sit-down meeting, or a virtual Zoom meeting with my accountant. I've had the same accountant for the last 4 years, so he knows the ins and outs of the business. Basically, he gave that, the Section 52. We walked through that, which is a legal financial document when it comes to buying and selling a business. We went through the ins and outs of that. So basically, Johnny knows, my coach knows, the person that's buying the gym knows that, like, what the gym is doing currently and how it has been doing it, that I'm not hiding anything, basically. So Johnny was all happy with that, and then I got a business sales agreement done up, categorizing all the bits and pieces. So both documents got signed. We shook hands. Johnny has met the landlord of the gym that I've leased. They've agreed on taking over the lease and all that sort of stuff. So it actually went super smooth in the end and super fast. And I would probably count myself lucky that my coach accepted for the second time. And yet we were just like, I knew it was the right thing to do. And Johnny was excited about taking it over. So yeah, we fucking kicked it in the dick. We got the paperwork signed, and we agreed on what's going to happen moving forward. Like, Johnny's going to pay me outright. I'm not going to be a member of the gym. I'm not going to be in coaching. However, I am going to help him understand the business side of things. I'm not going to just throw him the keys and fuck off. I'm going to hang around, and because I want him to pick up exactly where I've left off, but I want him to do better. I've made mistakes over the last 10 years, and I want him to be able to move forward in the right possible way. Because he hasn't ran a business before, and that's where I started. I hadn't ran a business either. And the biggest lesson I suppose I've learned over the years is you can't be a client and a member. You got to be a business owner. Fucking bottom line. You got to know your numbers. You got to be on top of your advertising. You got to manage your staff. You got to manage the members. You have to have a business head screwed on. So I want to be there to help him as much as he needs. I don't want to. It's not my business anymore. But as much as he needs help with, I'm there for him. So that's been, I suppose, the process so far.
Woo! What a whirlwind.
Hectic.
So, very hectic. So I'm taking away a few lessons from that story. First of all, like, purpose is massive. Like, if you don't have a purpose, or if your purpose shifts, you're in a lot of trouble. Like, to keep giving a business the passion and the energy that it needs, if your purpose is deviated in another direction, it's hard to come back and give the love and attention that a business like CrossFit Westgate would have needed when you're already kind of finding your purpose in a new direction. So, it seems like a real logical choice that you've stepped away. And I'm glad you found a coach because he's obviously passionate about the business, and the members, sound like they'll be sad. I'm sure you're a character, so the members will be sad to lose you, but it's probably for the best that they've got someone who their purpose is aligned with the business. So that's the first lesson I'm taking away. You didn't talk about it for too long, but when you were talking about getting started with your online training, you mentioned implementation before planning. And sometimes like people can get really stuck in just planning and putting together the perfect system and procedures. And sometimes you've just got to shoot first and aim later. And you don't know what you don't know. So, I mean, until you've got clients that tell you what they want, then, you know, how can you put something together for them that is going to meet their needs, I suppose. So, yeah, well done, because like, it's great that someone's just putting their hands in the mud before, like, you know, trying to figure it out all too much. And then the last thing that I really picked up on your story was like mistakes. I think it's just so powerful for a business owner to have that self-awareness to acknowledge their mistakes and then learn from them. I mean, you highlighted the mistake that kind of cost you really big, like big time, but in the end, that's probably worked out for the best because you've moved on to finally be able to have a sale. And then, you know, it seems like now that you've got that freedom to go all in and double down into the new direction that your purpose is heading in. And I mean, you've only talked about one big mistake, I suppose, but I mean, you said you've been in the industry for 16 years maybe. So I think we've had very similar journeys, and like, oh, fuck. I mean, I've made thousands of mistakes that, you know, and I'll make 1,000 more. And that's just the best way to, I guess, to move forward. So, a couple of questions going forward, but I'll just start with I'm just interested to know, is there a time limit that you've set with Johnny to work with him behind the scenes, or is that just kind of a handshake agreement? He'll lean on you when he needs you. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, we haven't set a time limit at all. Like, it's I'm more than happy to be there as much as he wants. Like, it all depends on him. Like, if he rings me in 6 months' time, needing advice or an idea or a hand on something, I'm happy to take that call. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if it's in 2 years' time. There's no time limit. Like, this isn't a paid thing either. It's just it's my way of, I suppose, it's a little bit of just for myself that CrossFit Westgate's my baby. Was my baby. It's now someone else's baby. But I want to assist that person in whatever way they require me. I don't want to be making decisions for them. I don't want that. And that's myself and Johnny have a good agreement when we've spoke long and hard about this. Like, for example, like, for me to be in classes or anything like that, I said, if I'm around, because I would still like to do some content, there's some great equipment in that fucking gym, fucking some savage stuff. So, and it's not in any other gym. So I want to be able to go in and use bits and pieces every so often, but on Johnny's fucking thumbs up. So I've said to him, if you feel that I'm interrupting what you're trying to do or your process, you've got to tell me fuck off. You know, you get the fuck out. Like, you know, this is not something that he wants me interfering with, or, because it's a thing that I know what it would be like myself. You're working under someone for so long, but they hang around. You'll always feel like you're working under them, even though now the business is yours. So,
well, you've got to let Johnny make his own mistakes as well. So if you're hanging around the gym, like, members are naturally still going to want to talk to you, ask you questions, and they're now questions. You've got to pass the torch. So they're now questions for Johnny, and Johnny's got to give the wrong answers. He's got to make his own mistakes. And like, you're just the type of guy that if you see Johnny making a mistake whilst you're in the gym, out of the kindness of your heart, you're going to be like, Johnny, stop! I can help. Don't do that. Like, he's got to be able to do that and make those mistakes himself. To, you know, you said he's not experienced in business, so on the roller coaster he goes. He's going to have some massive highs, and he's going to have some great wins, but fuck, he has to experience those losses as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I feel like having you around would be great, but also, you've just got to get out of someone's way sometimes.
100%. So yeah, I definitely initially from the 17th, which will be about like the last day I'll be there, or that's the first day Johnny will like be running it, I'm not going to be around. I'm like I'm not like that. For a month, 2 months, I'll be gone. I'm already like looking forward to being on the other side of the fence, being a consumer of fitness, not the constructor of it. Now, my current online program has started. It started this week. It's an 8-week block. And I love that stuff. And I just had my first Zoom call with the group last night. And during the call, I felt it. I just felt it was like, I'm doing the right thing. Like the way I was working with these people, I'm like, yeah, this is for me right now. I'm on the right path. The warm fuzzies started to happen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the move forward myself. Everyone's the typical question I'm being asked now at the moment is, oh, what are you going to do next? And I just fire out, oh, full-time stripper. But it's like that's not the truth, but I just say it anyway, because really and truly, what does it fucking matter? You know, for me, I'm happy with my decision. I'm happy for Johnny that he's happy and motivated to take over. So if I decide to fucking paint rainbows in the sand on different beaches around the world, like while fucking dancing with the pixies, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? The most important thing they should ask me is, am I content? And I am. And right. that to me means more than anything in the future.
Yep. Now, let me quiz you a little bit on the online stuff. You've been into that for a little while now, since second lockdown in Victoria. Yep. So, I mean, a lot of trainers want to move into that space now. And from previous conversations that we've had, you're not trying to be all things to all people, and you're pretty much just staying on Facebook as a platform to reach people. Is that correct? And so can you, because I mean, that's a big one for trainers that maybe even want to do like a bit of a hybrid model where they're on the floor, but they're also helping people online. So what have you found attracts members online?
Being yourself. 100%. Like, I'm no stranger to getting a little bit of abuse online from people, because I have a certain way. I have a certain presence online where I'm going to shoot from the hip. I talk fast. What's the biggest example of copying a bit of shit? Oh, okay. So this is the best insult I've got online, and it's a double barrel one. You're a weapons grade tosser. Yeah. So I was like, woo! I listened to that.
That's quite smart.
And I was like, mate, I haven't been called a weapons grade tosser before, but I appreciate it. Cheers, thank you. A double barrel insult.
I love it. Just on that, as like people ripping through you. I heard like the best one when I was playing footy the other week. The opposition, like their cheer squad or their reserves team, they were cheering on their senior team who I was playing against, and one of our boys was lining up for goal, and we've got the old calls of Chewy on the boot and stuff like that. The call that came from across the fence was, "You kiss your dad on the lips," and I just lost it. I just thought that was yeah, like it makes you think. And it's a good one because, like, I mean, unless you still do kiss your dad on the lips, I mean, that's fine, but it's not really offending anyone. Like, you're not, in the homosexual pocket, like, it's just good banter. And yeah. I absolutely loved it. So I tried it on myself last week, and the guy kicked the goal straight over my head. So I've got to work on my delivery, I think. But yeah, I cut you off. Attracting people online.
Yeah. So basically, I got some mentorship to help me go online, because just before I continue that, like, any time I've had issues or struggling with a business, I've got help. I've got a coach, I've got a trainer, and it's fucking worked. So,
couple of shout outs.
What?
Couple of shout outs. Who have been your mentors?
Oh, the Affiliate Solution.
Ty, great dude.
Yeah, Ty, and it was actually Scott Wade that used to own CrossFit Victoria, who came out. I've gone to several seminars, but I paid for them to come out that weekend for a full weekend. This ripped my gym apart and restructure all the systems, and it was the best thing I've ever done. That was back in 2016, and that was probably the worst year the gym ever had. And 2017 was the best year, and it just went up from there. So a shout out, like it has to happen. So hence, I had tried the online thing, and I was giving shit away for free, and there was no real structure to it. I was kind of just winging it. So my VA put me in touch with this company called Authentic Attraction, and they're on Facebook. And basically, I joined the group, and they reached out to me. And they were like, okay, what are you trying to do? Well, this is what I'm trying to do. And next thing I was on a sales call. And next thing I was buying into it. Like, their process is very good, but their process that they take you on is exactly the process that you learn. And but it was all about it. It was the accountability. It was, okay, what are you trying to do? This is what I'm trying to do. Okay, well, this is the structure. But we're not going to tell you how the program that you're going to deliver to help your clients. That's you. But we'll give you this skeleton over here. This is what you build it on, okay? So this is a ballpark figure of what you should charge for this amount of time. This is how you should set it up. You don't need to spend any money on a fancy website or an app. You can do it all on Facebook as your platform. And these are the ABCs of how you will execute this. And basically that was it. It actually turned, like, I was supposed to be in the program for 6 weeks before I signed up any client. I was in it 2 weeks, and I had signed up 4 clients. You know, and like basically like, oh fuck, the people I was up like, fucking slow the fuck down, like you're going a bit too fast. But I was like, well, I can't refuse people. Like, people are now reaching out to me. I'm just taking your advice, because as I said, I've done a lot of online videos, daily crack videos where I'm shy talking. Then all of a sudden, I'm talking about a program. So all of a sudden I'm having people DM me going, I'm interested. And I'm like, oh, fuck, of course you are. Like, let's go. And I remember the very first call I had with someone, I just went through their process, and, you know, they were like, I want to get in shape. Well, you know, what's that fucking mean? Like, do you want to get into a round shape? Like a small, like a rectangular shape? And a pyramid? I mean, what the fuck does that mean? So, a process of like understanding what is the deeper reason why someone wants to change themselves. And it's just why? Keep asking why. And before you knew it, I was getting a structure. Okay, this is what this person wants. They struggle with nutrition. They struggle with their confidence. And you know, it's they have no one there to keep them accountable. So that's what I built, an accountability program. You can call it whatever the fuck you want, but at the end of the day, it's me just keeping in contact with these people to be like, are you getting your 10,000 steps today? Are you drinking that water? Just helping them form good habits. Not changing their lifestyle or anything like that. Just be like, right, this is some good stuff here that could be implemented into your life, but I'm here to make sure you do it over the next 8 weeks. And that's how it grows. Then I got my first couple of clients. I validated the process. As I said, like there was nothing built out in the first 8 weeks at all. I barely had the first week built out, but after I built like 5 or 6 clients, I had picked a date. Okay, it's going to start on this day. So I built up, like, I probably got 15 clients to start for that very first program. And before we started, I asked them. I just sent out a group message all through on Facebook. I built a Facebook private group that only these guys were in. So that's where all my content went. But just put up a question. What do you need help with? That was it. They were saying food, you know, accountability, mindset. You know, I would like to do a at-home training program. I've got 1 dumbbell. You know, okay. So now I've got 2 weeks to start putting together a structure. Okay, what can I do on mindset? What can I do on nutrition? What can I do for home workouts? Then start drip feeding it throughout the 8 weeks and break it up into, like, basically you had 8 weeks or 8 sheets on Google Docs of week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And I just built out the first 2 weeks. And then the group Zoom calls that we would have each week, the same thing. I'd start off asking questions. Okay, like, what was your win for the week? But what was your biggest challenge? So I'd have 15 people on a call, and I'm writing down all their challenges. There's my next couple of weeks. You just keep building it that way. Now, I'm on the 5th 8-week block, and
Wow.
I have a very strong skeleton, but it's not the same as the first 8 weeks because I'm developing. It's layering. I've got an app now. It's not a person. I haven't developed an app, but I use the app Trainerize. And it allows me to put in beautiful programs where I can take videos of myself, like 15, 20-second videos demonstrating the movement and put it into like, you know, a nice structure so they can hit go on a workout and it's like, right, 6 sets of back squat with a 90-second rest. And there's a video of me when they want to press play to see how to do the movement. That's fucking awesome. It connects to their Fitbit. It connects to their MyFitnessPal, so you can see if they're doing their calories or they're hitting their macros, whatever system that you want to use. Some people don't want a workout plan, but they need to be active, so you can track that they're doing their 10,000 steps. I just wake up in the morning, do my daily routine, open up the laptop, open up Trainerize, and I'm like, right, I can see what each athlete has done over the last couple of days. If they're not pulling their weight, Damo on the phone here. What the fuck is going on? You know, so it works out great. They reward people. You reward, like the app itself gives people badges the more the better they're doing. But I check in and I'm like, fuck. And Paddy's doing a great job here. Give Paddy a buzz. Hey Paddy, how are you getting on today? I have a couple of structured questions that I will ask to get information so I can help move them forward. But you know, if someone's doing super well, how's things, Paddy? How are you getting on? Jump on a little bit of a quick FaceTime with them to be like, yeah, what's the story? 5 minutes, you have a client sorted for the day. So that's how it works. Yeah, it's all on Facebook. I don't have a website yet. I'm because I'm finishing up at the gym. I'm creating a free Facebook group where there's all my free content will go in. So anyone that likes my shit can be in there and they can get access to a shitload of free stuff, but they don't get me one-on-one. That's the only difference. My private group gets me one-on-one.
Okay. Have you built the group yet? How do they find it?
So it's Hinnigan Fitness.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is on Facebook. It's sitting there and it's live. There isn't much content in there at the moment, but over the next couple of days, weeks, months, it'll fill up. So Hinnigan Fitness. That's the future. Hinnigan Fitness. Nice. For the online thing.
So last 2 questions for you that I've been asking everyone in this new format. First of all, if you had a billboard, you can slap one thing up there. What would you want to present to the world? What would your message be?
Get out of your own way.
Hey. Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's from Scott Wade. That's an original Scott Wade. And he said that to me and that fucking changed my life. Because sometimes we can get fucking super bogged down in the shit that we're doing and we overanalyze, we overthink, and we get in our own way.
Yeah. Last question. What are you grateful for today?
For today in particular?
Yeah, today, right now. What are you grateful for?
Yeah, I had the time today to get down to Williamstown, fucking sat on the rocks and had the sun shine on my face and I had some time to do this. I was grateful for the time I had today for myself. Yeah.
Amazing. My gratitude's got to be just chatting to you, man. Which we met up for a coffee a few weeks ago and I was buzzing for the rest of the day and I'll be buzzing for the rest of today as well. So yeah, thanks heaps. We had to rearrange the time, so definitely grateful that you're able to reschedule with me as well, man. So this podcast, obviously it's going to be up on Instagram for anyone that missed it live. They'll be able to watch it, but give me a few days time and my virtual assistant will also upload it to all the platforms. So you'll be able to catch it on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. I'll send you the link, mate. You can put that in your group, private group, a communal group, share it with your tribe, get it out there. So you've given yourself a bit of a plug. I'm going to jump in as well. My plug today is if you're a Johnny. So you're someone that's bought a gym through pure passion because you love training, you love helping people, and you've got the drive to just make it fucking work, but maybe you haven't had too many skills or development in business, Raise the Bar Gym Coach is here to help. You know, we can help you implement systems, get things on track, dial in your marketing, and then, you know, build your relationships with retention and have some happy members. So that's what we do. Damo, thanks heaps for jumping on the podcast, man. Absolutely love it. Love you. Looking forward to the next chapter. Well done and congratulations on selling the gym and getting your online platform going. I'll be watching your content just for the scripting as much as I do the business and following along, man. So, yeah. Great chatting to you, mate. We'll talk soon.
And you too. Thanks a million, Nick. You're a legend. Giddy up.
Thanks, Damo. Giddy up.